What's up, you guys? So I'm here to do a little bit of an update, specifically a fitness update. I look pale AF in this lighting. So I'm like semi getting ready right now, just like touching up my makeup from earlier. So that's what I'm doing, and I thought I'd sit down and talk to you guys. And depending on if I just talk for so long, I might just make this its own video. It's like a sit down update video because I've been getting so many questions about it. This is a story all about how, if you're just stumbling upon this and you don't know anything about me or like my previous fitness journey, hello, nice to meet you. My name's Kristee. I just started my fitness journey about 1.5 years ago. I mean, I'm obviously learning as I go with this whole fitness thing. I feel like this is very high up. I'm not professionally trained. I don't really know what I'm doing kind of thing. I don't really like using the term bulking because I feel like it implies a very like strict bodybuilder approach that I don't want to subscribe to and like claim that I do particularly, because it's like not really a clean bulk. Like it's like just me eating maintenance or above, like a surplus, and lifting a lot of weights. So that was what I was doing, and I saw that being like for the next few months, and then I thought in the spring I was going to go back to losing weight again. And then spring came and that didn't happen. I never really committed to losing fat again, and throughout the year I would kind of like, I'd say it on YouTube like, oh yeah, like eventually like I want to like go back to losing fat, because I still had a substantial body fat percentage. I still do. I would start to track a little bit loosely and then fall off of it, and just it really wasn't a priority to me. And honestly, I think my body needed, especially after that rapid weight loss, you know, build more muscle, build more strength, and that's pretty much what I did all of 2018, and I think it was great, and I'm really happy with the muscle I was able to build. And I fell in love with fitness and like really learned a lot more about different workouts. Beginning of this year, 2019, I was like, okay, like I feel like I'm ready. Like I want to go back to fat loss. I was definitely like getting there, and I was getting back into tracking on and off and like getting myself in the mindset, but I wasn't really fully committed. And then last month in March, I really honed in and have been disciplined, on track, like really holding myself accountable and really following through and really motivated. And I've seen results. So I just noticed the other day I was at Bash Boxing, which is a boxing place I work out at sometimes. I took a little mirror selfie because I was wearing a cute outfit, fabletics. Didn't think much of it, and I was gonna go post a Bash picture on Instagram, and I was looking back at the last time I took pictures with other people there because I wanted to do like a group shot, and it was a few weeks ago, like probably, actually no, that was probably almost a month ago. And I was like, whoa, like looking at the picture I just taken the other day versus that, I actually noticed a physical difference in my appearance. Like my face has definitely slimmed down, which I know is the first thing that goes either up or down for me, and my upper body. And I know that I felt better and I can feel progress, but to like actually look at it side by side, I was like, whoa. So I posted that picture of side by side kind of on my fit Instagram, and I was getting so many DMs and people asking, which I think is kind of funny because I've been vlogging this whole time. Like if you've been watching my vlogs, like I've been saying like, yeah, like I'm trying to lose fat, like here's what I'm eating, and people are like, what are you doing? But I guess I haven't been like super hardcore with it in my videos because I have like multiple times in the past been like, yeah, I want to lose weight now, and then it doesn't happen, and I just didn't want it to be like that. Something is definitely different about this time, and I think I'm actually ready. I'm really happy with my progress and where it's going. So basically I just wanted to do like a little update, sit down, talk about this cut, even though it's like, again, I feel like the term cut is just very fitness industry specific. It's just me doing what I've learned is best for my body and trial and error a lot of the time. So I'm just going to talk you through a little bit of what I've been doing. I built a lot of muscle last year, but I did gain some fat with that. I knew that I was eating a lot of food because I was very active, but I don't think I realized like how many calories I actually was eating until I was strictly tracking this past month. And I was like, wow, like I, looking back, probably was eating a lot more than I thought some days. Everyone wants to have a good metabolism, right? Like some people think that they're, you know, just blessed with like a shit metabolism and it's so slow and that's why they can't lose weight, which is what I thought for a long time. And then I got my BMR tested last year and it's 1,500 calories. It was slightly higher than average too. And that was before I put on a bunch of muscle, so I don't even know what it is now. And I've been really consistent with working out. That's why I was getting kind of frustrated with like, okay, like I work out so much, I should be seeing fat loss progress, even though I think I'm just overestimating how much I'm working out. Obviously it's calories in, calories out, and I don't have as good of a concept of how many calories are going out versus in. as I may have thought. I think this is going to be controversial no matter what, but I'm just talking about my experience, what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to do any of this. Diet is so much more important than exercise, and I say that as someone who exercises a lot, and I don't eat bad food. Like I've said it before, but even if you're eating good, healthy, whole foods, like you can still be eating in a surplus and not realize it. Oh, this is gonna be such a mess to edit. I'm gonna drink to this. Be talking about being healthy, drinks alcohol. All about balance though. So basically, I was doing a lot really intense workouts, like 5-6 days a week, a lot of cardio, heavy strength training, different kinds of workouts, you know, boxing, solid core, soul cycle, lifting in the gym, doing cardio on my own at the gym, doing HIIT cardio, list cardio, whatever. Besides my designated workouts, like I am a very active person. I walk probably 15,000 steps a day. I was doing all these intense workouts because I thought that's just like, you know, that's fitness. Like if you're healthy, you work out 5 days a week and you do this and that, and your body can handle it. And your body is capable of a lot more than you think, but you also should be aware of what your body might do in response to some things. And again, this is personal, so this is what I'm alluding to. It was distorting my appetite in a way that I thought I was so much hungrier than I probably was, and so I would overeat because I was like, oh, but I worked out so much, like blah blah blah. I need to gather my thoughts and like think through how I want to approach this because it can come off wrong so easily. So I think I'm gonna stop this part and can pick this up at another point in time. The whole appetite thing, I'm gonna include a clip by Pollock, did a video that was so helpful. I've mentioned it before, I'll link it down below. I'm gonna put in her clip where she explains the study that shows the relationship between excessive cardio and appetite and how it backfires with a lot of people, and I think that's what happened to me.
Something I noticed when I was in this cycle of trying to lose weight and falling off track was that I had this kind of funny in hindsight pattern where whenever I was trying to get back on track, I would add in more cardio, I'd crank up the intensity of my workouts, and I'd try to burn more calories, which I wouldn't say it worked really well. I'd say I could stick to it for the first couple days, but then after that, I just got this overwhelming and unbearable sense of hunger, right? And again, I'd blow my diet, I'd fall off track, and I'd be right back where I started. A 2017 research review showed that the relationship between physical activity and calorie intake looks something like this. At low levels of activity, calorie intake is increased because appetite control is out of whack. As you increase activity, appetite control improves. However, when you increase activity to the extreme, as many people do when they crank up the cardio, appetite will sharply increase as well.
1, being in a calorie deficit. I know, it's literally basic 101 math. Everyone's different, but for me that means tracking my food and tracking my macros. I feel like there's such a stigma in fitness videos or people that are like, have this idea that you should be able to intuitively eat and blah blah blah, and like macros are too strict and restricting on yourself, but there is a healthy way to do it. And honestly, for myself, I do not think I can intuitively lose weight because your body naturally wants to maintain its weight. When I first lost weight, I was tracking my food, but I was just tracking calories. I didn't pay attention to macros, and I was tracking very obsessively and very low. I was shooting for like 1200. And in my videos, I would say that I was eating like 1400, which honestly, looking back, I probably was, because I wasn't tracking every single thing. I was not tracking oil I was cooking things in, or like, you know, I don't know my exact maintenance calories. I think they're between like 2100 to 2200, and I think I had been eating probably like 2300 to 2500 at some points last year. And again, it kind of fluctuated because I like start to track a little bit and be more mindful here and there. I would start and aim for 2000, and I did that for probably the month of January if I had been tracking accurately, which wasn't super often. Then I started to lower and go between 1800 to 2000. I kind of get hungry at night, and then maybe I'd have like a couple snacks. Like if you have 2 rice cakes and half a protein bar at night, like, and don't track it, that's like 200 calories that could put you out of a deficit if you're only eating a very slight deficit, you know? I was like kind of in and out, kind of committed, but I think that's honestly what made it easier for me to fully commit in March, because I'd eased myself back into the idea of tracking. I was trying to lower it slightly, so some days it would be like 1700, and I had slowly like noticed changes. I said it in vlogs, like I felt like I was making a little bit of progress here and there. And then finally when I committed in March is when I started tracking my personal things like don't go off of my numbers because we're all different. Right now I'm trying to stay between 1500 to 1700 calories, and 1500 is like pretty low. I wouldn't do that unless I'm like resting that day and I'm genuinely not hungry at the end of the day and I've only eaten like 1550. Like, I'm not going to force feed myself, like I said. But generally I'm eating around 1600 to 1700 calories, but now I've found a good balance where I'm not hungry. I don't feel like I'm eating at a deficit because of the way I've approached it. And my next tip, which is I've pretty much stopped doing extra cardio. Stop is a loose term, but I've reduced my cardio a lot, which is so funny because that's so opposite of what you'd think for fat loss. What you do when you build muscle is you kind of build your body into a machine and build your metabolism to burn more calories just existing. I've been working out less because my goal is not to build any more muscle at this point. It's just to trim down on fat and reveal the muscle that I've been working on. I was just hungry all the time and I was like, I just have a monster appetite because I'm so active. But in reality, I just didn't need to be doing those intensive workouts. Like, I'm just a person existing in society. I'm not an athlete. I've really been able to like get to know my own appetite and actually feel like I'm eating a normal amount of food, and I don't need to be like going to SoulCycle 5 times a week and sweating so much to lose weight. It was kind of like, it's counterintuitive, but for me it's just made such a difference. I probably work out like 4 days a week, I'd say. I'm focusing more on maintaining my muscle, strengthening, doing fun workouts that aren't just all cardio. I do love SoulCycle, you know, and I will do it from time to time because it's fun, but I haven't been in like 2 or 3 weeks. Don't get me wrong, obviously like cardiovascular exercise is great for your health and great for your lungs, and I have asthma, so the lungs need the help. I'm just not doing extra intense cardio. You guys, like, I feel like it's just been so good for me to chill a little bit with my workouts. Working out is like a passion of mine. I love it. It keeps me sane, so I'm not gonna stop completely, but it was just nice to like sit myself down and be like, you don't need to be doing all of this. Notice progress so much faster once I started sticking to the macros. And the more you work out and build your muscles and build your metabolism, the more you're making your body into a machine that can bounce back quicker. Also, part of eating in a deficit that's worked for me is going back to intermittent fasting. A couple weeks ago, I started doing intermittent fasting, which it's hard in the beginning because your body is used to getting food in the morning if you eat breakfast consistently. And so once you stop doing that, like, you are gonna be hungry. That's just the reality because your body is expecting food, but your body will adapt when it realizes that you're gonna be feeding it later and you're still gonna be feeding it enough. You're not gonna feel hungry after like, I'd say a solid week, which is tough, especially if you're in an office early morning. It's so much easier in the morning. I just get ready and go to work. I have my lunch packed. I usually start getting hungry at like 11. So maybe if I'm so hungry it's distracting, like I'll have one of the snacks I bring. I bring like a protein bar and like a little like rice thing or like an apple or whatever. I eat dinner. I pretty much eat 2 meals a day and then a few snacks while I'm at work in between in my eating window. That has worked so well for me and it makes it so much easier to eat in a deficit, and that's just the reality of how I eat, and that's just what I've learned about myself. I'm not saying I couldn't do it if I wasn't intermittent fasting at all, and I'm not saying you can't, but this is what I found has been working for me, and that's what you guys were asking for. Drink a shit ton of water because I'm intermittent fasting. Like, I just chug a bunch of water in the morning when I'm working. Yeah, when I eat my dinner, I usually eat like kind of late because I'll work out like after work, and then I'll come home and it's like 7, so I'll make dinner and then have like some protein ice cream or a dessert or something. And when I go to bed, I'm not hungry because I just ate, but I'm still like in a deficit, and I feel so satisfied this way. I feel like it's sustainable and I'm not doing this long term. Right now it's been about 3 solid weeks. I'm happy with my progress. I'm not weighing myself. I did weigh myself before I started a while ago, so I think I'm gonna weigh myself probably once a month just to like see. I still want to try and lift and maintain my muscle mass even if I'm not doing as intensive workouts and as much cardio. You can still be a healthy, fit individual if you don't go to the gym 5 days a week. Like, I foresee it being probably 8 to 10 weeks. But again, we'll see where it takes me. Once I get to a place where I'm really happy and I want to maintain, then I'm gonna reverse diet out of it and still track for maybe a month or so while I slowly add calories back in. That way you're not just immediately jumping up, confusing your body, and then storing it all as fat. That's where I'm at. That's my fitness update. I had a couple pictures up. I'm not gonna do like a body update now because it's getting dark, and I can do that in another vlog if you guys want to see. This is a lifestyle for me. I'm just doing what makes me happy. You don't need to lose weight to be happy. You don't need to lose fat. I just knew that long term ever since I started building muscle again. I knew long term I wanted to get my body fat percentage down because it's still like pretty high. I haven't gotten it scanned recently, but I know that it's probably above 30%. Thanks for watching this fitness update. I hope it made sense. I know as I was talking through it, it got like kind of convoluted, and it kind of got into like a little bit of a fitness journey backstory that a lot of you have already heard. I'm gonna be documenting a lot more on my fitness Instagram at KristeeBetterFit if you want to follow me on there. Then give me a thumbs up if you watched this, if you found it interesting, if you want to see more fitness content. Like, I feel like I do a lot of lifestyle vlogs because my life revolves around a lot of things that aren't fitness, but let me know what more specific fitness videos you want to see. And again, I'm not depriving I'm literally drinking wine right now. Oh, I didn't even say this, but usually one day a week, like, I'll eat maintenance and I won't track, but I know that I'm not like eating, I'm not overeating. I'll have some extra snacks, or if I want to eat out and have eggs Benedict, like, it's a cheat meal, I guess, but I like eating maintenance maybe once every week or two. Because then it kind of spikes my metabolism again and makes me feel like reset and ready to go back into it instead of just a constant deficit. But that's just me. Just do what makes you happy. Okay, cheers to that. Love you so much. I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye.
I only love my bed and my mom.